Okay, so key number one, keys to unlock your creative power. Number one, become aware of your other self.
Which one?
Become aware of your other self.
I have so many.
I know, right? I do too. I was talking to one on the way here. This is who I wanted to introduce you to. Some may call it higher self. Some may call it intuition. Some may call it God, universal intelligence, infinite intelligence, source, whatever you want to call it. Think of this as another person, an evolved version of you. One of the exercises I do to become consciously aware, and this is a massive key to unlocking your creative power. I look 5 years down the road, 3 years down the road, and I visualize the ideal me, the man that I see that I want to be. This is the very practical way. There are deeper ways. I'm just going to give practical, simple, places to start, okay? While I'm in communion with this individual, this higher self, this other self, you see what I'm saying? I am in communion with this other self. So we have relationship, the sharing of space, time, and energy, me and this other self. And I'll be going down the road and someone will cut me off and my lower self wants to raise a hand and wave. You ever had your lower self do that? My higher self might say they know not what they do. My lower self thinks if I hit the back tire just right, will they spin? Not quite. Don't tell me you've never thought of it.
You know what? Now I just look from this. They're the rabbit that's getting ahead of me to have the cop pull them over.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the only way I can look at it.
Works for me.
You know what I do now? I go, those are the people we're trying to help. They have this subconscious paradigm going on, and it's a take paradigm, right? It's this thought process of I've got to be faster, I've got to be in front, I've got to be better. It's a zero-sum game. It's all about me, and I'm there at times, and you're there at times. But the more you become aware of this other self, you start to look at this differently. Have you experienced that? How many of you have met this person, your other self, at some point in your life? Raise your hand. Now, how many of you are actively listening to that other person?
How much of the time?
This is what awareness is. Just being aware of it, you know what I know? That already today, you're going to listen more just from talking about it right here. And I am too. You know where I started getting in touch with this years and years ago, then I went into observation mode and awareness mode over the last several months. Then I went back and listened to Napoleon Hill. And if you go back and listen to the beginning of Outwitting the Devil, you're going to hear a very clear explanation, better than I could ever do up here. So I just want to recommend that you go back and at least listen up to the interview with the devil. Now, the interview with the devil is incredible, okay? But just that part alone will give you some insights into your other self. So, whoops. What do you want from today? What do you want from this time together today?
Stronger relationship with your other self.
Okay, that's a good answer. I'll need several answers and several points of data for this next part. Okay, perfect. Knowledge, okay.
New perspectives.
New perspectives.
Yeah. Clarity and awareness.
Clarity and awareness.
Inspiration.
Inspiration.
To grow.
Okay. I believe the answers are all accurate, but 90% of them were a process. So let me show you something. Okay, because we're all after a result, aren't we? But what we want is a process. You ever wonder why people are working so long and so much, and the process just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, more hours and more hours? Because whatever we put focus towards grows. We are very process-oriented. Joe, what do you want? I want more clients. Really, how do you want to live? I want to travel the world. Can you do both? No. You're a massage therapist. If you have more clients, how do you travel the world? So you tell me you want to process, is what you say. So in this key, let's look at what the lower self might do. I'm guessing most of us answered with a process. You know why? Because for 40 plus years, I answered with a process. And guess what I got? More of the process. Always working, long hours, long days. I want to learn how to unlock creative power or new info to move forward. Is it the information you really want? When you buy a drill, do you want the drill?
No, you want the whole.
Yeah, you want the whole. When you buy a car, do you really want the car?
You want to get something.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Did you pull in that nice black sedan?
Yeah.
You did, didn't you? Yeah. Now I get why you want the car. But you actually want the feeling of the car. You want the destination of the car, right? We buy the car, we buy the drill, we get the process to provide a result. And when I've sat down and interviewed, you know why I'm qualified to be up here? Not because I'm smart or because I was certified by whoever certified the people that certify people. Like, where did that start? Are you certified? I don't know. Who certified the people that certified you? I'm qualified because I observed thousands of people. I sat down and I said, what do you want? And you know what they told me 990 times out of 1,000? Maybe not that much, but close. I want a process. I go, well, you'll have one. Are you going to be okay with that at 60, at 65, at 70, at 75? Because statistically, that's what people have. They have a process. By having awareness now of your higher self will look at this different. Okay? The higher self has ambitions, dreams, goals. So it's a subconscious program of process orientation taught by our parents, teachers, TV, media. Johnny, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be an artist. Well, that's really cute, Johnny, but how about doctor? How about lawyer? And the domestication and the process begins of teaching our children process orientation. So we perpetuate more of it. Let's do it again with awareness. Shall we? You game?
Sure.
Okay. Now what do you want? You can love the process, you can enjoy the process and be happy in the process. But why?
Once they feel expanded.
Okay.
Still an inspiration.
Perfect. I'm not telling you to change. I'm just giving you ideas. You accept, don't accept. Go out and interview 1,000 people. You'll see what I'm talking about. And watch their life. Very, very process oriented and very, very tied down. And asked, if you could do something different, what would you be doing? I'd be spending more time with my family. I'd be traveling. I would be helping more people. I would be enjoying the fruits of my labor. But we remember that I know what I know, don't know what I don't know, and then all that I don't know, I don't know. This is where the paradigms collide. It's kind of tough, huh? Because you want to defend the process. I do too. But I love what I do. Frickin', I'm building Weibo. It's the coolest job in the world. I love it.
I get to play in the studio every day.
But I have an end in mind. There's a purpose for it, or else I would just be in that process, continually in the process.
For me, I'd like to share that wanting implies process. So what you want is always somewhere out there.
Well, if you don't have it, isn't that accurate?
Don't have it.
If you don't have somewhere out there, wouldn't that be accurate?
But the sense of wanting and perpetuating, what do I want now? What do I want now? There's always a wanting. So I would suggest we could relanguage want to something else.
Okay, so aspire to.
intentionally, intend. Yeah.
Sure.
So that has an income.
Whatever fits for you, to me, they all apply the same thing. It is something that you're going towards. But however it feels good to you, there's no, I don't know that there's a right or wrong. There's only accurate for you, whatever feels good. But now, what are you intentional about? What is the result that you want to create?
I would want the freedom
Okay, what would that look like?
to be able to work at my own leisure, expand the way I want to expand, and reach for a higher star, higher power.
Okay. So here's why this is important. If the goal is the process, you keep perpetuating the process. But if you get intentional about the result, the plan is different. If you build a company and you build it to build a company and work in the company, you're going to be working in the company. But if you build it to create a cash flow, to give you a lifestyle that's debt-free with freedom to travel and be who you want to be, then you're going to structure that company different. How many people do you know have owned a business and the business has owned them? Right? Process orientation. They built a process. I am a plumber. Okay. I am a massage therapist. I sat down with a gal that wanted some coaching, and she said, I hear you can help me get more clients. I said, okay, is that what you want? And she said, yes. Are you sure? Is that what you're intentional about? She said, yes. I said, okay, what else are you intentional about in life? I want to travel the world. I want to experience new things. I want freedom. I want to help people. I want to go eat new foods and try new wines and go do spiritual studies and all this other stuff. I said, great. How many clients do you want me to help you get? She said, well, I'd like to have 5, 6 a day. I go, well, then how will you travel? She started crying. I said, I have an idea for you. Why don't you become a broker to massage therapists, create a marketing vehicle, get other massage therapists that don't want to go live a life, not that that's bad, and they'll take care of clients and you'll make money and you can go travel. Oh my God, I want to do that. Of course you do, because this is the first time you've looked at, touched, and felt the result. So you have to get outside of the process if you want the result. Whatever you give energy to is going to grow. Okay, so the higher self, I think, would say your investment of time, money, and energy to return to you 10x plus in the form of, so what do you want from today? I'm just going to make a suggestion, a 10x return. Now let's take a look at what you invested, shall we? Okay, what do you guys think you invested?
A day.
A day? What else? Time?
Money.
How much?
Attention.
How much money? Okay, let's look at it. Next to each concept you learn today, put an amount of value of what it will return to you in your life. Okay, you're going to learn a lot of different concepts. We have different speakers. We're gonna learn some stuff. But put that dollar amount next to each concept that kind of resonates. So what did you invest today? The lower self would say $99. Let me tell you what you really invested. $99 enrollment, $300 in expenses, $1,000 of the cost of money somewhere else, $1,000 of the cost of time somewhere else, minimum. Some of you, if you're going, what? I value my time different, maybe. Cost of creative energy somewhere else, $1,000. Total investment, $3,399. Why would I be up here and put myself on the spot for that?
Because you think you're going to return a lot more to us.
I do. I wonder what you think. Because I know this information, as simple as it is, after thousands of people, is basic, it's simple, but you master these basics, you get these 8 points, and you win. And you start creating. And then your vision incorporates other people into it. I was able to meet Lynn the other day and bring her down. We had one meeting and I liked her and she had some great insights to how the mind works. And so, well, come on down. And now I met Ivan. How did we connect? Just on Facebook in
Yeah.
Phoenix?
I saw the post on Lynn's Facebook page, and then I watched the video, and I went, hey, speak my language.
Okay, perfect. So, Ceci, right? And we have not met before.
Just
Okay.
Facebook.
Okay, through Facebook. Let's give Mark Zuckerberg a hand for putting us together. We can criticize them all we want, but a lot of us are together because of Facebook, so that's a pretty cool thing. We need to honor creativity and creation. Okay? I probably talked a little bit about him at times where I shouldn't have, and now I'm my higher self said, "What the hell's your problem?" So you invested, in my perspective, you don't have to buy it. I think you invested $3,399 minimum. That's a lot of cheddar. Does anybody know that term?
Yeah.
Okay. It's old school. The higher self says, I am worth it more. Now, honestly, the last time I did this, it was $2,500 per person. So then that investment was higher. So I feel like we're right at about the value. You invest $3,399, and you're going to get, here's what the lower self might say. Brett's responsible today for my growth.
Why?
Exactly.
Why are you responsible?
Exactly. Why would I be? I'm just here drinking tea. The higher self. I'm an authentic leader and the creator of either my predetermined destiny or what is not written yet. I am humbly accountable and responsible. You're going to create the value for today. I'm just going to share my story, and so are some other folks. We're going to mastermind again, and then we're going to take a break. So this mastermind is going to be a fun one. Is everything predetermined? Or are we writing it as we go? You hear absolutes, don't you? No, yes. This is going to be a fun one. And then you'll like even better what comes next. But go ahead and get in your mastermind and discuss predetermined, or are we creating it? 10 minutes.
This is a big topic.
Oh, very nice.
It is.
So, every day is definitely.
Oh, no, you're fine, you're good. Nice food in here, but not that good. It's an outside.
Test your friendships. Are you able, from a position of authenticity as a leader, to still have harmonic culture when you disagree? This is an easy point to disagree on, isn't it? So part of these exercises are actually not about the subject. They're about bringing us together in collaborative groups and learning how to, number one, you're going to see today in some of the keys, authentic leadership. 2, attract tribe, your tribe. 3, create harmonic culture. And then 4, align effort and energy. You're learning, if you're paying attention, you're learning more than just that topic. Okay, this is all designed to give you the experience of these 8 points, the first 4 being interactions, they're internal. The next 4 are interactions, they involve each other. Okay? Now, what did you come up with? Predetermined, or we're writing it as we go?
Yes.
Did you say yes?
Ceci and I absolutely.
Did you say yes?
Yes.
Anyone? Yes? Both?
I don't think it's predetermined.
Well, here's the good news. When you know the truth, you actually realize that it doesn't matter. The process of living and creating is actually the same regardless of how you think you get to the end. We still got to live. We still act. We still create. Even if it's predetermined, you're still in the process of creation. So there's no point in being stuck there anymore. This is about taking accountability and responsibility for ourselves as an authentic leader, however we get to the end, whether predetermined or not predetermined. We still can choose to live in such a way that we create as we go. Now, if it's predetermined, those thoughts are put there. But guess what? If it's not predetermined or the thoughts put there, they're still put there. So there's no point, there's no reason to be stuck or divided at any time on this point. Good job. You guys actually got there. You all got there. That's the power of the mastermind. Now, in a bar conversation, one might say, well, it's predetermined. No, it's not. And those two might leave and never talk again. But when you come together with purpose, working towards a common end, in a harmonic culture, you stay together. We want to cure world hunger. We want world peace. Shit, you can't even stay together for a drink. Why would we try to solve the world's problems if we can't solve them right here? Right? I believe it was Gandhi, maybe the Dalai Lama, one of them said, be the change you want to see. When you're in this group, be the change you want to see. When you're with your family, if you want them to hear you, then hear them. If you want friendship, give friendship. If you want love, give love. If you want money, give money. If you want time, give time. If you want social engagement on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, what should you give?
That's it.
There's a higher law that governs all of this. And what we typically do is the law is always operating, just maybe not in our favor. Any other ahas from it? Wayne.
Isn't predetermined?
I feel so. I do. So in my life, I'll tell you that it's very clear for me. So it is predetermined. Now, whether God or the universe put that there or I fabricated that, doesn't really matter. It's there. And I'm going to live in such a way to achieve that purpose. So thank you for bringing that up. So this is another way in the mastermind when you're in a large group and a point comes up and you go, yeah, okay, that's something I can take. And you feel that point and go, is that accurate for me? Right? What Wayne said is accurate for me. Maybe it's accurate for you. So what do I want from today? I want the satisfaction of knowing I delivered value that exceeds $33,990 for a 10x return for each of you. Global recognition and influence as a thought leader making positive change. Well on my way on that. And wealth the way I define it, and success the way I define it. Not the way the world defines it, the way I define it, which is a longer story, and we're not about me here. But so higher self might say that, right? I want to be of service and value to you to honor what you came here for. Lower self would say, I want to get as much out of this as I can for me. It doesn't matter, it's a zero sum. It doesn't matter if other people win. I'm not saying I'm better, I'm just saying that my higher self, if I'm listening, would be more interested in that. 10-minute break.
Yay.
Love that song.
Okay, we're going to get started. Okay, so the first part, key number one, is get to know your other self. There's a lot of work around that. There certainly can explore Outwitting the Devil. You can, look to really study that more and figure out what that means. Probably the best thing you can do is what Wayne said, is observe. I think you'll hear that other self at times. And I think the more you can rely on that other self, here's a good indicator of when it's your other self. If it conflicts with the way you would normally do it. That's probably a good indicator unless you are right on track. Now, a lot of people go, well, most people would say I should think this way. Do you know where most people end up in life? Common thought produces common results, statistically in everything. Financially, 5% of the country can fund their own retirement. Well, my aunt said do this with my finances. She's part of the 95. It's not bad. It's not negative. Of course you're going to agree with that. Of course I'm going to agree with what my mom and dad said. Of course when I hear that higher self talk, it might sound foreign because it's conflicting with the paradigm. That's why it's the higher self. It's not always right. It's not like that's always it, but there's got to be some way to identify. Go ahead.
One of the things they teach is how to to get in touch with your intuition, higher self. And I describe it as it's that little voice before your brain says, yeah, but.
Exactly. That is a great explanation. There's another book you've been deep into called The 5-Second Rule, Mel Robbins. But yeah, I mean, this doesn't have to be like overdone. It's not that hard. Normally I would cuss them out. Today I'm going to tell them I love them. That's probably the higher self, right? Normally I would worry or stress about this. Today I'm going to have faith and belief. Normally I would just randomly go throughout the day and I might just put off things I should do. No, I'm actually going to get up and be productive. Or I'm going to purpose to be lazy because that's what I need. And I know that's what I need. So I think you can keep it pretty simple. You know, I don't think it needs to be, we get caught up in too much mumbo jumbo, honestly. It's not that hard.
You know, I was actually introduced to this concept as a kid. There is a book called The Great Me and the Little Me, written in 1957. It's a kid's book. So if you want it even simpler, I offer you that.
Yeah. I will tell you, the more I learn about my spiritual life and spiritual studies, the more I learn about all the science, the simpler I'm getting. It's like, okay, I get that that's how they all connect and all that happens, but I know that when I do this, she does that. And I know that when I do this, he does that. Would you stand up for a second? And I know that if I do this, oh my God, look at that. She does that. You're awesome. You know that? You are awesome.
You make me awesome.
Do you see that? Is that really that hard? I stick my hand out, she shakes it. What is that called? The law of reciprocity. I stick my hand out, he shakes it. That's called the law of reciprocity. I hug her, she hugs me back. I say you're awesome, and what'd she do? You're awesome. Is it really that difficult? You know what I want us to get from today? It's actually a lot more simple. Now that I got your $99, it's just...